Hey everybody. So by now everyone has heard about this massive issue with Blizzard and a Hearthstone player named Blitzchung. It's Blitzchung, right? I think so. It happened about a week ago now, and there's been enough information and I've had enough time to calm down that I think I can actually share my opinion on this. The reason I want to share my opinion about this specifically is because Blizzard has been a massive part of my life throughout my entire gaming history. I remember the first time I saw my friend's brother playing StarCraft and just being intrigued. I have bought and played all their games. They're still a staple in my life today. I love the gameplay. I love the narrative. I even go out of my way to buy boxed versions because Blizzard games are one of the few that you can still do that today. And also I want to support them because they're a business that, they've been with me longer than most of my friends, longer than my wife. Like, it's a massive part of my life. And over the years, I have grown and matured, done my best to become a better person, and I know that this, it sounds strange to say it this way, but you would hope that businesses that you feel personally attached to would do the same over the years and maybe try to do the right thing. But unfortunately, that's where Blizzard fell short. I'm not alone in this. Everyone is talking about it. Some people have varying degrees of how angry, frustrated, disappointed they are. But I'm going to share where I'm at with that. So the 30-second recap is that this player, Blitzchung, who had won a Hearthstone tournament, got $10,000 and was being interviewed by a couple of commentators when he started into a pro-Hong Kong monologue, wearing goggles and masks, which is not masks, plural, singular, which has become indicative of the protesters out there because of tear gas and things like that. To be clear, what he did is against Blizzard guidelines. They are very specific about keeping the topics on point, not talking about politics or anything like that, and he knew that going into it. So after he said his piece, Blizzard's reaction was to take away his winnings, his $10,000 winnings, and to ban him for 1 year. In addition to that, the two commentators that were there, which I've heard both sides that they were just, there doing their job and that they kind of set him up, that they were part of it. I don't know which is true. They were both also let go. Once this was done and news of this got out, there was massive backlash from the fan base, especially in Western countries, because everything that's been happening in Hong Kong for weeks, even months now, has been, the protesters are pro-democracy and they're fighting against multiple things now. Main thing, the extradition bill for China, which, if you know anything about China, everything is state-run media and everything has to go through those filters, and if China doesn't like what it is that you're presenting, you're out. So Blizzard/Activision has ties in China. The new game, the Diablo Immortal, which I don't plan on playing, is being pushed by Chinese companies. A lot of ways that the news has been spun around Blizzard's reaction. You have press releases in America and separate press releases in China. The wording is very, very different. But yeah, fans on this side were not happy at all. And I'm one of them. I am not someone who is an activist. I'm not going to marches. I'm not pursuing social justice. I obviously have my belief system, which is pretty solid. Freedom, all of that good stuff. So when I see a company like this shut someone down, take away prize money that they've earned for sharing an opinion which all of us as Americans should adhere to, it breaks my heart. It really does, because I always assume that, when I'm playing their games or going through my day-to-day, that they are holding themselves to a higher standard. As I've been listening and reading the news about this, I've heard lots of other hypotheticals come out, like would the backlash have been so big if the guy was wearing a MAGA hat? And that's, who knows? Again, that's a hypothetical. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what he did and what Blizzard did as a reaction to that. And would Blizzard's reaction have been different if he was talking about any other marginalized group or country in the world that Blizzard is not trying to grow in, like the Chinese market? If he was talking about what's happening in Syria right now, with the U.S. troops pulling out and the Turks pushing in, would he have met the same backlash as what he said about Hong Kong and China? Again, just speculation, but you know what? Between you and me, I don't think so. So because he broke the rules, he still needs to be punished. And Blizzard's pendulum has swung back. And as of right now, he is getting his $10,000 winnings back, which is good. He earned that. He won. And his ban has been cut from 12 months to 6. And honestly, I think that punishment better fits his crime. Because like he said himself, he knew he was breaking the rules when he did this. So as much as I want to hate Blizzard, because I like them, I'm invested. Because I want to hate them for this, I have to understand that what they did, brash though it was, they were only thinking of the economic consequences. And that's something every single business does across the board, no matter what. And quite frankly, as consumers, we're fools to think anything else. We live in an era of wokenomics, okay? We are aware of social issues around us. The companies are aware that we're aware of social issues, and so they cater to that interest. There are a lot of times where this looks good and benefits the company. When Nike decided to have Kaepernick as the face of their social movement, they knew that there were going to be some people that disagreed. All right, you saw those people online burning their Nike socks and whatever. Because Kaepernick was taking a knee for Black Lives Matter, other players started doing it, and Nike supported him. But here's the thing, if Nike thought that this would have backfired, they wouldn't have done it. All right, Nike is a company just like any other one. They have a board of directors that they have to answer to. They have profits that they have to make. They made a calculated financial decision that we as the consumers agreed with and continued to support. Not every company hits the nail on the head when it comes to that. You all remember when Pepsi tried to do the same thing and failed miserably. All right, so it's hit and miss with some companies when they take a stance, how they present that. The reason that I bring that up, the money behind it, is because when you look at the NBA right now, the NBA is going through something pretty much exactly the same as Blizzard is at exactly the same time. One of the general managers for, if I remember, was the Houston Rockets. I'm sorry, I'm not an NBA fan. This is everything that I had read. Had tweeted out nothing controversial, just a pro Hong Kong statement, and received immediate backlash and isolation from the NFL. Its players, its general managers, everybody. Even as of recording this video, today I learned that LeBron James even came out and I don't even know how to word this properly. He did not come to the defense of free speech. Let's say it. Let's say it that way. Put it that way. I'm not going to quote him, and I'm not going to try to put intent to his words. But it's all over the internet. Take a look, and you'll see what I mean. So in this day and age, when we believe that, or we try to believe, that companies are still good, still making moral decisions, please remember, they are making decisions for where the money is. Please don't be fooled at all. For someone who is not involved in sports like that, usually things like that don't resonate with me. I'm more of a gamer, so I respond more to that, which is why I talk about Blizzard specifically. And I want Blizzard to make the right decisions. I want them to do the right things. I appreciate free speech. I appreciate being able to share my views. I wish people could do the same everywhere. And Blizzard, I want you to support those people. So that's it. I meant for this to be a specific Blizzard thing, but then started talking about other sports, and so my main takeaways are these. First off, freedom and free speech. Everybody, everywhere, in every sphere, whether it's games like this, other sports, whatever it is, that is key and paramount. It's the most important thing. And secondly, everyone out there who believes in the companies that they support, that's good. That's what you should do. There are companies out there doing legitimately wonderful things. But please remember, they are driven by a common goal. So look past that and see why they're doing what they're actually doing. Because as we're seeing right now with the NBA, when it comes to market share versus free speech, they've made their decision. And as consumers, we need to make ours. As for whether I'm on board for the whole, ban Blizzard movement thing that's going on, there are so many good people inside the company that work hard every day to entertain us. And I am very thankful that those people have come out in support of not just Hong Kong, but free speech in general, and trying to hold their company accountable for their actions. Those are the real people that get affected when we do things. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to step away from Blizzard games right now or not. Every time I think about it, I start getting emotional because I'm a gamer. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. But that's it. That's all I've got. The ravings of a madman with very little information and lots of feeling. If you watched this, thank you. Let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe they're the same. Maybe they're different. I'd love to read them. But yeah, thanks again. We'll see you again soon.